Hi, this is Trance1999 with a video on getting access to all your personal vehicles in Grand Theft Auto 5 online. I've been playing a little while, but every now and then something will happen where when you go to request a personal vehicle, it'll say that you don't have one. It sucks. And before I knew what to do, I was having to basically waste time stealing an NPC car, drive it to my garage, and then take my main car out of the garage to make it my primary vehicle again. There's an easy way to fix this, but when I first started playing, I didn't know what it was. Well, now I've got a few tips and tricks to share with you on getting vehicles delivered when you want them, and I'll talk about aircraft too. I'm also going to cover a few other scenarios like impounded vehicles, plus 2 cool tricks that even if you're a seasoned player, you might not know about. I've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. Cue the main title. In another video, I showed a technique on filling up your garage with high-value cars really quickly, and then selling one at the beginning of a session to start out with 8 or 9 grand. And like I said in that video, when you drive a car out of your garage, it becomes your personal vehicle. And then when you sell it, well, then you don't have a personal vehicle anymore. And if you go to request personal vehicle, it says you don't have one. So maybe you already know this one, but there's an easy solution to this. Pull up your phone and call the mechanic.
You calling for some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up.
He can bring you any car from any of your garages, and that car will then become your personal vehicle.
I'll bring it to you. All right, I'll get back to work.
I know that's basic, but I didn't figure it out for a while and was doing it the hard way, so I'm sure some of you guys didn't know it either. Okay, so let's say that you do something stupid like I did here. And destroy your car. You can get your car back by calling Morris Mutual, the insurance company. If it was completely your fault, you'll have to pay the deductible, and it can be expensive.
Hello, this is Morris Mutual Insurance.
For this car, it was $6,500. If you have an even more expensive vehicle, like a tank or the Deluxo, it's going to be even higher. I know for the Conjali tank, it's around 10 grand. I think for the Deluxo, it's 20 grand. So it can be expensive to replace a car that you destroy. And then if someone else destroys your vehicle, they have to pay the deductible. And that's really a nice deterrent against griefers who go after you and destroy your car over and over again. There's also no charge if you destroy a car when the owner is wanted. So as a side note, if someone is griefing you, put out a warrant for them before you retaliate. That way you won't get hit with a $20,000 bill when you defend yourself. And sometimes it doesn't charge you, like if your car gets destroyed on a mission or a job, then it won't charge you. I play exclusively on the Xbox, but I've heard that they don't charge on the PC version. Moving on. Okay, the next tip is that anytime it spawns your car for you, for any reason, it's going to be a clean, new, fixed version of your car. So if you're not close to your car and you request it, when it spawns, it'll be fresh and new. And in a minute, I'll show you how to use this feature to get your car cleaned up without having to go anywhere. Let's jump to impounded cars. Here I got killed while fighting the police. My car is impounded, and I'm told that I need to go to the impound lot and pay $250 to get it back. And it does show me on the map where my car is because it is still my personal vehicle. You have to be careful here because if you get another personal vehicle, either you go into your garage and drive it out, or you call the mechanic to have it delivered to you, your impounded vehicle will be destroyed. And if that happens, you'll have to pay that insurance fee to get it back. It says here that you'll lose it. And if you don't have insurance on a car, I guess that could happen. But any car you purchase comes with insurance, so you don't actually lose it where you would have to repurchase it for $1 million or more. If it was a car that you just stole from an NPC, you drive it out of a garage and now it's your personal vehicle, and you don't purchase insurance on it, in that case you would lose it. So I thought maybe I could get around that by calling my personal aircraft, but when I did that, it also destroyed my car and I had to pay the $6 grand. So you can't even use a personal aircraft to go get your car. There are a couple of ways to retrieve an impounded car. You can go to the impound lot to get it, maybe just steal an NPC car and drive there. Once you're there, you can pay $250 at the gate, or just jump over the fence and steal it back. Or if you own an office, you can call your assistant and she'll have it delivered to you for $1,000. And that's what I always do.
You're through, boss. That shouldn't be a problem. I'll have your personal vehicle collected as soon as possible.
See a trend here? You're paying millions to buy these vehicles, but then you have to pay to use them, pay when they're destroyed, pay to get them out of impound. And then you grind to get money to afford to do it all again. Anyway, while we're on this subject, don't forget that while you're a CEO, you have access to CEO vehicles. While you're CEO, there are a number of vehicles you can request, and those don't count as primary vehicles. So requesting one of these doesn't change your primary vehicle, so you would be able to use that one to drive to the impound lot. Looking at the map, you can see here that while your primary vehicle is white, the CEO vehicle is colored. So you can call a BJ here and take that to drive to the impound lot. If you own a Buzzard, the Buzzard is also free when you're a CEO. Just remember that you'll lose access to these vehicles the instant you quit being a CEO. If you're in the middle of a flight in your Buzzard and quit a CEO, it'll bail you out of the chopper. By the way, the Buzzard is the most convenient aircraft you can own, and I have another video coming that does a full review of the Buzzard. I said it was convenient. As a CEO, you can request it and it'll instantly appear very close by. If you're an associate for another CEO, you can also request it for you or them to use while you're in their service, so it's really handy. However, all the Pegasus aircrafts aren't quite as convenient. When you purchase aircraft, usually it's going to be a Pegasus vehicle. You get these delivered to you by using the phone to call Pegasus and paying a small fee. Of course.
Hello, Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help you? Your beautiful new aircraft is waiting at our nearest airfield.
The bad thing is, Pegasus will deliver the aircraft to really inconvenient places. For me, it kept putting it on top of the hospital, which is about as inconvenient as you can get. One good thing, though, is that a Pegasus aircraft is not a personal vehicle, so your car doesn't despawn when you request a helicopter. And that can be handy since you'll probably have to drive somewhere to get it. The other good thing is that there's no charge when it's destroyed because you paid to request it. If you own a Hangar, you can convert a Pegasus vehicle into a personal vehicle. Then you can request it in the Vehicles menu instead of using your phone to call Pegasus. It still spawns in seemingly random places, but they are slightly less inconvenient. There are maps out there online of all the delivery locations around the map, but for me, since my office is near the beach, I often use that location. Or if I'm at my hangar, the airport is also a delivery location, obviously. It doesn't take long to learn where the aircraft will be delivered for you. Just memorize these locations and head there to make the switch. And remember, you can only have one personal vehicle at a time. So when you do request that aircraft, it will return your car to storage. And if you're not in the right place, you'll end up with no vehicle close by at all. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is switching back from aircraft to car. Let's say I request my Savage, and now I want my car back. It doesn't make sense, but it'll say that you're too close to your primary or special vehicle. Let's say that you come here, request your helicopter, then fly to your bunker, and then you want your car. It won't give you the car because you're too close to your special vehicle. So you have two options. Well, there's a third option I'll tell you about in a minute. But the first option is that you could just leave that area on foot, run pretty far away so you're not too close to it, but that sucks. Another option is that if necessary, you could just destroy your aircraft and then you can request your car again. The only problem there is that destroying your aircraft will get you a wanted level, plus it'll cost $1,000 to replace the aircraft from Morse Mutual. The third way I'll tell you about in a second. Cooldowns. Just be aware that there can be a cooldown period when requesting vehicles. You can't just do it over and over again. You might have to wait 2.5 minutes between requests. I've seen some cooldowns on requests as much as 4.5 minutes. And if you're in the middle of a battle or a job, it can be a pain to have to wait. So just be aware that most of the time when you do request a personal vehicle, it'll be 2.5 minutes before you can request one again. And that goes for both aircraft and cars, and calling the mechanic as well. So earlier I promised you a couple of cool tricks, and here's the first one. To do this, you do need to have a hangar so that your aircraft are personal vehicles. And you can't do this when too close to one of those aircraft spawn points. But if your car is all banged up and you want a fresh one, you can request your personal aircraft, then wait for it to tell you that it was delivered, then request your personal vehicle. And Bob's your uncle, you get a completely repaired car right away. And this also works as a way to change primary vehicles. Request the aircraft and then call the mechanic to get whatever car you want. And when I've tried this, I haven't had any cooldown or waiting periods. I was able to immediately request my car again right after the aircraft was delivered. Why MMV? That means your mileage may vary. And the second cool trick that I promised is the third way on switching back from aircraft to car. I've been playing a while, but had never been an MC president before. Just didn't seem interesting to me. So I didn't know about any of the abilities you get as an MC president. But one of the cool abilities is that you can return your primary vehicle to storage. So here I have my car. I request my aircraft and wait for it to arrive. Then switch to being an MC president. And now I can return my primary vehicle to storage for free. Then quit as the MC president, and you can request your car without having to leave the area. So that's it for this video. I know that was a ton of information. Thanks for watching. If you have any additional tips on using your cars or getting access to your vehicles, or if you just want to talk about your feelings, toss those in the comments section. Make sure to like and subscribe and all of that stuff. I'll see you next time. Well, I won't see you, but anyway.